So we're just getting ready to start this meeting. Does anyone know what time it is? It's probably like 6:07. All right, we're called to the meeting to order at 6:07. So we are going to do roll call, but first we're going to announce that there's a bunch of free squash at the front that they want everyone to take. Like everyone here could get the whole box and there would still be more. So please take advantage of the free squash. Very important announcement. Okay. That being said, we'll start with roll call. So I'll go down the list here. First is project lead for City of Richmond, which is me. Hi, everyone. I'm Matthias. I'm not normally at the seat, but Beatrice is out this week. Next, we have project lead for Grid Alternatives. Bessa is here. Groundwork Richmond, not here yet. Rich City Rides, we have Mayeli. Trust for Public Land, have Annie. Oh, do you want to give her name tag? It's not that important, but UC Berkeley, we have Alice, Urban Tilth, we have Shaneway, and we are going to add for the next slide, Tomasa, who is also here at her first meeting. So like we do at every meeting, here's some information, as everybody knows, just a general overview. As we do at every meeting, we read a land acknowledgement. So we typically go around in a circle. Do we want to kind of do the same thing? Let's have our beautiful intern, Adrian, start with this. Adrian, can you read the first sentence, please? But can you use the microphone that's there and turn it on and then use that? Put it on the mic. No, you can leave it there. Just leave it where it is. We're good. Thank you.
While Richmond Rising seeks to strengthen the economy, improve public health and the environment, particularly in the Iron Triangle, Santa Fe, and Coronado neighborhoods, we do so with the awareness that we occupy unceded Quechin and Carrican alone territory.
Stephanie? The second bullet.
We acknowledge that land theft of indigenous homelands and the dismantling of indigenous sovereignty was done to advance colonization.
We acknowledge that capitalism and white supremacy are branches of colonization that have persisted throughout hundreds of years of oppression, are alive today, and contribute to keeping Black, Indigenous, and all other people of color from thriving.
We further acknowledge that this country's political economy and social institutions were built on forced labor of African people on stolen land through violent systemic abduction from their homelands and enslavement over hundreds of years.
We further acknowledge the exploitation of immigrant and refugee communities as modern forms of cheap and disposable labor are regularly carried out on stolen land.
Thus, we acknowledge that we have been impacted and harmed by these histories and experiences imposed on our ancestors and communities. We further uplift the shared struggle among Black, Indigenous, and all people of color.
You want to use this mic?
Oh, it died in. Oh.
We also acknowledge that indigenous people continue to live here, steward the land, and resist settler colonialism.
We conclude that our land acknowledgement is an active and evolving statement and process. It requires us to recognize historical injustices and invites us to be active participants in our collective healing.
Okay, thank you. We'll move on to the next slide. Just an overview for anyone who's new or needs a refreshment. The Richmond Rising Group is a group of 7 organizations that came together last year and received a $35 million grant from the Strategic Growth Council to bring health, economic, and environmental benefits specifically to the Iron Triangle, Santa Fe, and Coronado neighborhoods. So in an overview of this committee that's meeting today, our goal is to provide guidance on implementing the projects and holding the different project leaders accountable for reaching their goals. We provide input, we make recommendations, and we assist in question making or organizing activities for the various project leads, but we don't have final decision-making authority on anything. We vote to basically make recommendations to the respective project leads. But we are very collaborative, so recommendations are taken seriously. Yes, project leads are required to consider the recommendations, but we, again, are collaborative, so that is natural to what we're doing. Before we begin the rest of our agenda, this item is for anyone in the public who has an item that they want to talk about with us that's not on the agenda. I can bring a microphone to you if you'd like. Okay, no problem. And if you want to bring something up later, that's okay too. We'll bring a mic then. Next item is reviewing and approving the previous meeting minutes. So these were sent out to everyone on the committee in the last few weeks to review. If anyone has any comments, we can take those comments and make edits to then approve it at the next meeting. But if there's no comments, we can approve at this meeting. Anybody have comments or want to make a motion? Bessa makes a motion to approve the minutes. Shaneway seconds. All in favor, raise your hands. Tomasa, sí, te entero. Did you also, yes? Okay, that's a unanimous vote to approve the previous minutes, which are online on our website if anyone wants to review them. They basically have a note of everything we talked about and how we voted and items that we're going to talk about at this meeting. The next item is our project status reports. We do these at every meeting, and each project lead goes around and talks about the most updated status of their project, including budgets. So we're gonna kind of just go chronologically, or no, sorry, that's not true. Not chronologically. We just go in the order of the slides. So the first one is grantee. Grantee is the city of Richmond. Some of the things we did include coordinating this meeting with the minutes, agendas, et cetera. And also invoicing and reporting, as all the project leads are so excited to know. Invoicing period is here. So they'll be submitting their invoices by next week. We'll review, and there's kind of a back and forth. And then we submit those invoices to the state at the end of this month for reimbursement. We have spent so far $191,000 and $643. And we have another $502,000 in that budget. In the next couple of weeks, we received our check for invoice 4, just to give you all a time frame. We're now in invoice 6, so it takes about 4 months to get a check. So we are now in the process of distributing that to all the partners, and we're also going to be reviewing the invoices and providing feedback and back and forth with you all. And I'm not looking at Ambessa, but I am looking at Ambessa. I'm just kidding. Neighborhood Complete Streets is also a project that the city is the lead on. This is a bike path, active transportation infrastructure project. Big thing that's happened over the last few weeks is we've been coordinating internally and with our project partners at Trust for Public Land and some other consultants on an application to the U.S. Department of Transportation's Reconnecting Communities pilot program, which is really about what it says it's about, reconnecting communities. So in this case, I guess going over railways and also the 580 to connect our communities that we're working in to the ferry, but really also the lovely trail along the bay. And so far, we have not spent very much because we're kind of just getting started. And some of it we spent and haven't invoiced yet because that's complicated, but we spent $8,121. And we have another $5,173,051 left. And I guess we could talk about this more later too, but essentially we're trying to double this budget with the with the Reconnecting Communities pilot grant, and also double the Richmond Wellness Trail grant, which we could talk about later, but that's the general amount that we're applying for. Not due until September 30th, but a lot of work is going to go into the application before that. So that's what we'll be doing the next 2 weeks. And also, well, that's pretty much what we'll be doing in the next 2 weeks. Next is Richmond Wellness Trail. I think we should just use this mic because that mic doesn't seem very loud. So I'll just pass this in a circle.
I'm giving a report on the Richmond Wellness Trail, which connects the BART in Richmond to the ferry. It's phase 2 of work that's going on. And work completed since last meeting. The design consultant team has produced base maps or surveys for the site, and they've begun to do site analysis of the project area. About 2 weeks ago, we did a site walk of the existing conditions with the design consultant team. So that's Placeworks, a landscape architect, and CSW, an engineer. And we also walked with the City of Richmond and a few partners, Groundwork Richmond and National Park Service. And that was to look at the existing site to plan for the design. There was some outreach done through the We Run Richmond 5K event alongside Rich City Rides and Groundwork Richmond with Terrence Wu, my colleague, who's typically here. And we are also looking into additional funding opportunities along with the City of Richmond, which Mateus just spoke about, may fund Neighborhood Complete Streets and the Wellness Trail. Expenditures reported to date, $31,127.12. Remaining budget, $4,785,026.48. Work coming up is ongoing planning and design work. That's it.
Since we met last month, we've continued to do our outreach throughout various community events. Our total expenditures reported to date are $99,000. Our remaining budget is $2.3 million, and the work that we are planning to complete in the next 2 weeks is we are going to be presenting our building designs to the Design Review Board.
Hi, speaking on behalf of Resilient Homes. The work we've completed since last meeting is we've hired on 2 fellows, a Solar Core fellow and a Rising Sun extern that are just, coming on and learning the work and the like. We executed a successful solar workshop program with the City of Richmond last Monday. We had about like 55 people in the house and fast-tracked and signing up some applications. And it was just wonderful. It was a great partnership. And in executing this, in partnership with the City of Richmond, we sent out about 5,500 mailers, doing invitations for the event. And like I said, it was a packed house. We also yesterday participated in the Rise Center's National Night Out, just circulating information about TCC and other programs and the like. Recently, we've sent a mass mailing to 1,700 Contra Costa residents, just promoting all of our solar programs. Thus far, we have 20 clients contracted for solar, and what that means is by the end of September, we will have at least 20 people all have received solar in our services and the like. So on target, expenditures to date, $150,000, remaining budget about 6.8 million. Planned work in the next 2 weeks. We are doing a client solar workshop in our office in Oakland from 6 to 8, just to bring the community out and continue doing the work.
Just quickly, because I forgot to make an announcement at the beginning. If anyone wants interpretation, we do have live interpretation in the back. There's equipment in the back. Si algún quiere interpretación, hay equipo ahí por parte trasera.
All right, basins of relations, work completed since last meeting. Outreach to homeowners to inform residents about water conservation offerings, focusing on the area around the Richmond Wellness Trail. 2 more drip irrigation systems were installed with approximately 20,000 gallons of annual water savings. Total number of systems installed during the grant period so far is 12. Expenditures, a little over 146,000. Remaining budget, a little over 1.5 million. planned work in the next 2 weeks. Looking to find homeowners interested in laundry to landscape gray water recycling, continued outreach, site visits, and installations of water conservation systems for Richmond homeowners.
Yeah, there's two name tags, I guess. Okay. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Colin Martin. I'm the urban forestry manager at Groundwork Richmond. Lorena, who's usually here presenting, couldn't make it tonight. So I'm here to give the update. Also wanted to apologize for being a few minutes late. It's one of those days. But the update from Bosque de Barrio project is we planted 31 new trees for the month of July, and that makes 59 to date. That's about, we're a little bit over 50 trees in the last 2 months. We've continued to canvass the Santa Fe, Coronado, and Iron Triangle neighborhoods. And we also tabled at the 5K Richmond Run last weekend. We joined a couple of other partners here at the table for the walkthrough at the Wellness Trail for phase 2, between Cutting Boulevard down to the marina. And then we also attended the monthly UFAC meeting, which stands for Urban Forestry Advisory Committee, that meets monthly at City Hall. So the total expenditures reported to date are roughly about $80,000, and then the remaining budget is $1,007,940. Over the next 2 weeks, some of the work that we are planning to embark on is planting more trees, continuing to canvass, and coordinating our Arbor Day event that's taking place in October at Southside Park. And I actually wanted to highlight that because I think the last meeting we had a resident who asked about planting some trees in Southside Park specifically. I'm not sure if they're here today, but we decided to choose that park because of community feedback and then also working with the city. So that's taking place in October. Thanks.
I'm back. ADA accessible garden design or work completed since last meeting. Design and construction documents are 90% complete, and the project will be presented to the design review board on August 14th for final acceptance. Utility service and connection details have been determined and coordinated with the adjacent e-bike lending library project. And the approach to the public art has been discussed, estimated, and will be presented to the Arts and Culture Commission in September or October for acceptance of the concept and approach. They have spent about $38,000 so far, with not about $900,000 remaining. And the planned work in the next 2 weeks is to submit plans to the city for permitting in mid-August and prepare bid documents and solicit contractor pricing in September, October. I knew it. Orchard for All. Work completed since last meeting, conducting Orchard for All Gleaners 6-week training program and canvassing the project area to recruit more homeowners with fruit trees. They have spent about $67,000 so far, with a remaining budget of about $1.1 million. And in the next 2 weeks, they are planning to host training program graduation and present certificates of completion and stipends. That's for the training program, the Gleaners. And then create annual reports for end of the year. We are all doing that, and bi-monthly invoicing. And here I am again. VeggieRx is our last one, I think. Since our last meeting, we have hired 2 community health promoters to support Task 3, which is our Train the Trainers program, and Task 4, which is the climate friendly diet program. We distributed 174 VeggieRx produce bags and Lifelong conducted 5 heat classes. We also finalized our schedule for the community health promoter training cohort number 2, which is going to be starting in October. So far, we have spent $227,000, and we have about $3 million remaining. In the next 2 weeks, we will be organizing and drafting the readiness deliverables for Task 4, so we can get that up and running, submitting the leverage fund report and invoice 6, and finalizing the annual summary reports for an August 31st deadline.
Okay, the next item is the e-bike share program. So in the last few weeks, we went back and forth with the vendor to perfect our invoicing process. So we have approved several invoices now, which have been pretty streamlined, and we're now submitting those to to the state for reimbursement. And our partner Ride Today is continuing to do outreach. They were out there last night at National Night Out and many other events, and they are distributing vouchers. So if anyone here is interested, they have various voucher forms for free and reduced cost rides on the electric bikes. To date, we've spent $361,544, and remaining budget is about $637,434. And in the next 2 weeks, they're continuing to do outreach, distributing vouchers, letting people know about the program. And yeah. Next is the community engagement plan. So the city of Richmond is the lead for the overall community engagement plan, but we are working very closely with Rich City Rides, who just hired Gabby, who's here today. Gabby, can you raise your hand? This is Gabby. She's awesome. Yeah, that's right. Have a round of applause. I don't think she was expecting that, but Gabby's awesome. Gabby will be the program manager for the Youth Fellows. So over the next 5 years of our grant, or 4 years of our grant, we'll be hiring youth ages 16 to 24 from the project area. There are some here, which we love to hear. Yeah, so Gabby will be working with them, working to get them on board, train them, etc. But anyways, that's all to say. In the last few weeks, she's been she just started 2 weeks ago. And so she's been figuring out all of the programs, since they're all going to be related to what she's doing, and then also working on developing modules and training materials for the Youth Fellows. To date, we've spent $92,735, and the remaining budget is $2,473,297. In the next couple of weeks, mostly we'll be looking to Gabby to continue working on the training modules. Yeah. And I guess technically within this is all of the community engagement we do, which includes this meeting, includes things like National Night Out, which was last night that we were at, and other kind of outreach, engagement, et cetera. We manage a website where people can give comments and do give comments. And so we respond. We do a lot, but these are just kind of the key highlights that are presented at this meeting. Another project of the that the city of Richmond is managing is known as the Displacement Avoidance Plan. So this project has sort of a good amount of sub-projects, if you will. So one of them is working on a community land trust policy. So that was coordinated by a fellow who is transferring to another program. And so right now we are kind of working with the program to see if it's worth applying for another year of fellows' help to kind of implement the policy now that we have the policy. And we're also waiting to get so that was in partnership with UCSF, and we're waiting to get the grant agreement from them so we can report on the leverage time. So all of the projects require what's called leverage, which is basically matching the dollars that the state gives us with kind of other sources. So they like to know that they're making an impact larger than their contribution. So that's what we're waiting for before we can report leverage for that policy. We also, as part of the displacement avoidance plan, are working on an ADU toolkit, which essentially would allow homeowners or property owners to choose pre-designed ADUs. So there's 5 ADUs. ADUs are accessory dwelling units, which are small. Kind of think of them as mini homes, but they don't have to be separate. They can be connected to the existing home. And basically, this is allowing homeowners to choose from a pre-designed designs, which means that they don't have to pay an architect to develop a new plan, which saves about $60,000. approximately, depending on how nice the architect is. And also saves weeks of time and gives you certainty, because as soon as you choose the design and bring it to City Hall, we can approve it the same day. So those are big deals, and the reason the ADUs are part of the displacement avoidance plan is because we want low-income homeowners and people who live here to have access to additional housing and not have to leave the city. So that's sort of just a general sense of why the ADU toolkit was chosen. So we're continuing to review the plans themselves. There's a lot of things if the city is going to automatically approve over the counter the same day, that means we need to lock in all of the electrical and plumbing and et cetera beforehand. So we're still finalizing review of those to get that in line. And as part of that, we are still doing outreach. For example, they were tabling last night at National Night Out, letting people know about the program and asking for comments about the design and program overall. Displacement avoidance plan is a big project. So there's another sub-project called the Buy Local campaign, which is sort of just now getting started. So they released a request for proposals from consultants who want the city to select them to run the Buy Local campaign, which is what it sounds like, a campaign to encourage people to shop at the local stores, as well as facade improvements for local businesses. So all of that will be covered in the RFP, the request for proposals. So that is public now and will be closed on August 22nd, which is a few weeks from now. And then they'll choose and start moving forward with that consultant. They're also continuing to work on a contract with a company that would help coordinate and organize all of the parts of the Buy Local campaign, as well as the facade improvements. Total expenditures reported to date are $104,560, and remaining budget is $577,000 approximately. And so the next 2 weeks, like I said, the request for proposals will come to a close, and that's kind of the main highlight of what will happen under the umbrella of displacement avoidance. And next, we have the workforce development and economic opportunity plan. So this is a partnership between the City of Richmond and Grid Alternatives. So one of the things that was done recently, it was the Grid has a solar trainer who's been hired and onboarded and is learning more about the curriculum and labs, including shadowing and other kind of learning and opportunities. And then we also are now working to coordinate but more closely between Grid and the employment and training team. So we met with the deputy director, who is here today to give a presentation after this. So far expenditures reported to date are $11,370.21. And the remaining budget is $1,422,437. Planned work in the next 2 weeks. We're gonna let the deputy director talk a little bit more about what they're planning to do in the next few weeks. All right, and the next project is the indicator tracking plan. So I'm gonna pass the mic around the circle to Alice.
Hi, everyone. Buenas tardes a todos. Since our last meeting, the UC Berkeley team has been working on revising the indicator tracking and evaluation report. We started drafting 2 case studies, which, just as a reminder, are requirements that we have to the state. And we've been drafting the VeggieRx case study and the Universal Design Garden. We have also been working on data inputs for CARB tools. Just a reminder, I think that stands for California Air Resource Board, and that is once again a requirement that we have to comply with for certain projects. And so our team is specifically looking at what those data inputs are, just making sure that we are getting all the inputs that we need. I apologize, we do not have an updated budget expenditure because our invoicing has turned out to be a little more complex than what we expected. And in terms of work plan for the next couple of weeks, I see sharing final evaluation plan. I believe that it was actually done earlier this week. So we have shared our final report, which will hopefully be approved and submitted in the next couple of weeks. We'll continue working on our case studies and then share them with the relevant project leads and continue working on our CARB tools.
Okay, this slide gives us a little space for anyone here who received public comments or questions that they think are worth sharing here. For example, Colin shared earlier that based on feedback from this meeting last month, they decided to plant some trees at Southside Park. Does anyone have any public comments or questions they want to share that they received? Okay. That doesn't mean we don't have any public comments and questions. We're tracking those, but these are just really for like highlights and big opportunities. Mostly we get questions about how can I apply. So we've been working on building out the website to be a little more straightforward about how people who are interested in the various programs can apply. So we will be reaching out to you all the project leads in the next few weeks about how, we're basically a link that we can put on our website so that we have a streamlined way to kind of connect the dots. Because we are doing a lot of outreach, but we don't have the links on hand. So we're working on that. Anyways. So now on to the business items. We have a very exciting business item. First up is review and recommendations on the 4 nomination forms that we've received. So these nomination forms are from members of the public who are interested in serving on the committee. We can have up to 6 members on our committee from the public. So far, we have 1, so we have space for more, and we're excited that people are excited to be here. So all of the committee members have in front of them 2 different documents. One is the applications themselves. So that's 3 pages. Make sure you see that they're double-sided. So there's 4 applications in total. And we didn't really have any guidance on how long or short to make the applications. So some of these are longer, some of these are shorter. That's fine. We have invited everyone to be here today. So hopefully they're here and we can ask questions and such. And then we will basically do a scoring process. So everyone will also have a separate set of stapled sheets that have just a basic scorecard that we developed as part of our bylaws that kind of try to guide us on like what we think are the important values that we hold for the committee. I'm just going to read some of them out loud so everyone knows. Can I see this real quick? Sorry. So the 3 areas we're scoring applicants are relevant experience and expertise, commitment to the community, and diversity and community representation, such as age, gender, project area, neighborhood, resident, business owner, etc. So that's what we'll be doing now. So we'll give it a little bit of a moment for everyone to review the 4 applications. In the meantime, are any of the applicants here today? So I can read them out loud. We have Juana Hernandez. Hello, Juana. Thank you for being here. We have Alma Delia Guerrero. We have Judith Rocha, who is here. Thank you for being here. And we have Montserrat Abril Gonzalez Martinez, who is also here. Thank you for being here. So we have 3 of the 4 board member applicants here. So we're just going to be reviewing what you all submitted now, and then we'll give you all a chance to introduce yourselves, and then we'll ask any questions. So please hold. In the meantime, help yourself to some food. We have salads and chips. The salads, some of them have chicken, some of them are vegetarian. We also have water and coffee and hot water if you'd like some tea. We can do up to 4 without having to change our bylaws. Oh, so up to 3 more. We have 2 for you. Actually, we can do them all. Really. So, yeah. Okay, so what we're gonna do now, I know you all haven't finished, but that's okay because we're actually gonna have them speak and ask questions, and that way we can be a little more informed with our decision-making as needed. So I will get up and hand the mic to them. I'll let them all do an introduction, and then we can we can ask questions as well if we have them. So we can turn that mic back on and then just kind of talk loud in that one. So first I'll start with Juana, if you'd like to introduce yourself. And if you talk slow, I can.
Oh, yo
I
hablo
can-
solo
si habla
español.
en español, yo lo puedo
Ah, ok.
interpretar, pero habla lentamente.
Ok.
Sí.
Hola, mucho gusto. Mi nombre es Juana Hernández y estoy aquí porque estoy interesada en el puesto. O,
This is Juana, and she's here because she's interested in this position.
ahorita, pues, mi experiencia no es mucha, pero estoy sirviendo como comité de padres en la escuela Nistrom y pues quiero ayudar.
I'm so sorry. ¿Sí lo puede repetir? Permiso, permiso.
Está bien. Ahorita mi experiencia no es mucha, pero quiero pues aprender mucho y estoy sirviendo como en el comité de padres de la escuela Nistro.
Right now, she doesn't have a lot of experience, but she's interested in getting more. And right now, she's in the parents committee at Eastern, I think it's elementary school. Gracias. Judith?
Hi, everyone. My name is Judith Rocha. I was in a program here a few months ago with Irma and, what was her name? Andres. It was a great program. I learned a lot from here, from Richmond. I'm from Richmond too. I've been here for maybe 20 years living here with my kids, and I see many different things. Everything changed. First, there used to be a lot of violence closer to my street. Now it's so different. And I would like to stay to learn more every time because, things change, years change, and I want to learn more. Thank you.
Yes.
Hello, my name is Montserrat Gonzalez. I'm 17, currently going into my senior year at Richmond High. I guess I'm interested in this position because I'm always been interested in being involved more with my community, especially with the internship I just completed with my group here, which was like revolved around tree planting and learning more about that and doing research for the community. I always try to involve myself in it since I've lived in Richmond my whole life. I lived the experience of being a Richmond resident. So I always want to be a part of that. And I was here for the last meeting, and I immediately, when I heard like that we could apply for like a position to be part of it, I immediately, like the same day I applied for it, because I was just really interested in it. So that's a little bit about me.
So do committee members want to ask any questions of anyone? And similarly, does anyone from the public have any questions or want to speak about the candidate? Don't take too long, but you're welcome to give public comments if you like. Coming right up.
Hi, my name is Andres Zabar. I work for Lifelong Medical Care, and I think Judith will be a great selection. She didn't miss any of our classes that we trained, whether it was here or at our clinic, so I think she would be a great fit for this committee.
Hello, everyone. My name is Hector. I am one of the instructors for the internship that Montserrat did this summer. And throughout the summer, I've seen her grow. I've seen her enthusiasm for the public in general, for Richmond. It truly shows in all her work that she's done, and I am so proud of her. And I think she's a great applicant. Yeah.
Okay. Me gusta mejor hablar en español, me hago entender mucho mejor. Uh, sorry. Okay, I speak in Spanish because I like it more and my information is more clear, okay? I think Juana is a good team. Okay, okay, sorry. Okay, I think Juana is a good member because I remember 5 years ago I stay in the first five for volunteer. I have any experience on the community, but 5 years ago, I collaborate with Lifelong, and if you have one opportunity is more better for grow and work on the community because when you don't have any experience, you need experience. Thank you. And now my English is better.
Dice que okay. Well, so now that we've heard a little bit more about everyone, let's finish up our scorecards and then we will add those up and make a vote on who to bring onto the committee. We can bring, we have up to 6 spaces available. So currently we only have 1 seat filled, so we could fill everyone, though they may, we can also make considerations to not fill all of them, to save seats for later. We are still doing outreach for the position. So, but yeah. Everybody give their, no. Hello. Might use this one, just talk really loud. Pass this one around. Okay. Yep. There should be in there. There should be. Because we're not like selecting. No, don't talk to me like that. Is this part of the requirements in the damn contract that everybody signed? I wasn't even here. Okay, well, we are just wrapping up the addition here. But in the meantime, maybe we can start with some conversation amongst the committee on the different applicants and questions, thoughts, et cetera. And then we'll report back. Anybody want to start? Ambessa?
Well, one thing in particular I appreciate about this process and the applicants is it does reflect a level of diversity in age and the like, and I think that's very important. Different sectors of community voices are represented in all of the candidates. I have not seen a candidate that I, upon this presentation would personally reject or the like, and so, yeah. That's my 2 cents.
I say we take them all because they showed up, whether on paper or in person. I don't know how many people live in the project area, but that's 4 people that actually showed up and put their application in. And I agree with Ambisa, they definitely represent a good age range, diversity in age range. And yeah, I didn't see anything in the application that struck me as like they shouldn't be in the position, so let's take them all.
Okay, so, well, I mean, does anyone want to make a motion or more discussion? We haven't been able to get Alma here, unfortunately. But we've tried reaching out and, just haven't heard back. So that's one thing. So that being said, I mean, if we appointed her, I'm not even sure she would know or come next time, so. Yeah, we could, well, I don't know if we could keep it tentative, but we could review her application in a future round. So we'll be reviewing new applicants every 2 months. So what we could do is, for example, is say we'll move her application for 2 months from now, and then if she doesn't show up, then, and we could continue to move her up and try to get in touch. If we don't hear from her, we wouldn't review it, we wouldn't spend time reviewing again, but, because this is the second time we've reviewed her application. The first time we decided not to wait until she could make it to talk to her. But we can kind of continue to wait for her, which I would probably recommend just because, we haven't heard from her. Yeah. I'm only because if we appoint her and then she isn't able to start coming, then we would have to basically like unappoint her and if we wanted to fill her space later. So that would be my recommendation, but yeah, obviously, that's just the update. For everyone, I'm just gonna use the mic because we got people on Zoom, so we try to use it. I'm gonna just keep this mic over there and I'll use this other mic. We use this for the Zoom recordings, so sorry. Thank you.
Didn't mean to make you walk either. Well, honestly, I make the motion, that we appoint the 3 candidates that have shown up and, as you said, keep Alma's, application on file and we could revisit it at a later time.
Is that a second? Okay, that's a second from Mayeli.
Wow.
Oh, that's a second from Mayeli.
That's the second from Mayeli.
All in favor, raise your hands. That is a unanimous appointment to the committee. Okay. So that's very exciting. We didn't make the table big enough, but we will have a bigger table at the next meeting, which is great. We'll be ordering more food, which is great. And we'll make sure to follow up with everyone with materials to kind of catch you up. And we'll spend time one-on-one to kind of walk you through the projects and the general process. This is, about speeding you up to what we're doing and also giving you all the information and resources you might want to advocate or, share information. So this is just as much about you as it is about our committee. But yes, congratulations. So after the meeting, if you could come and find me, we'll nail out the final details. But yeah, it's the first Wednesday of every month that you're all gonna be here now. So that's great. That's great. Thank you again. Let's do one more round of applause. Okay, cool. Well, with that, we're gonna go to the next item, for which we're gonna use the other microphone to allow the Deputy Director Tamara Walker, who's here to give a presentation on Richmond Build. So we'll pass the mic. That way, yes, thank you. All of it. I might have mistitled, but yes. Oh, yeah, yeah. Thank you, thank you. Excellent.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Emma Walker. I'm the Deputy Director of the Training Department. I'll talk about Richmond Build first, just because it was mentioned. So, and then if I have time, I'll talk about the other programs that we have. So, Richmond Build is a state-recognized pre-apprenticeship program in construction. We also have a solar and electrification program, a part of our Richmond Build. We take anyone between the ages of 18, well, just 18 and up. You must have a high school diploma and you must have your driver's license. The program is globally strong. We're actually going to extend it to, I think, 14 or 16 weeks because we are adding lead abatement and asbestos mitigation. Because we're doing some work around brownfield. Now, can you hear me? Okay. You want me to start over? Yeah. You want me to start over? Okay. Okay, so Richmond Build, we're located at on South 27th Street. So it is in the target area. We take anyone between the ages of 18 and up, and I'm saying between because we have another program. So Richmond Build is a state registered pre-apprenticeship program. We do what's called MC3, which is multi-core craft curriculum, which means our program covers all of the trades. We don't cover them extensively, but we are regulated to provide multi-core, which is a little touch of all of the industries. We've added solar. We're going to be adding lead and asbestos mitigation as a part of our next cohort. Let's see what else. You must have your high school diploma or GED, and you must have a driver's license. So we do have connections with some of the trades that have open entry, which means if they complete, we can refer you if that's the trade you're interested in. We do have a connection with the electrical trade, IBEW, just specifically where you don't have to take the test, but you do have to interview. So luckily, we have one of our trainers. He is on the IBEW interview panel, so he is preparing those who are interested in electrification or to become electricians to how to pass the interview. So we have that. We have been offering some employment opportunities with the Richmond Housing Authority with refurbishing some of the houses that they have, some of the duplexes that they have that are vacant and they would like to rent out. So after you complete, we send maybe 4 students over to there and we pay them to help them get those duplexes together. So we also have Richmond Build. So Richmond Build is the same thing as Youth Build. We have Youth Build, which is the same thing as Richmond Build, except it's for people ages 16 through 24 who do not have their high school diploma. So we have a school on site to help you get your high school diploma. You're getting the same certifications that you would if you were going to Richmond Build. So I'm not really good with the certifications, but I'll try to remember them. We get OSHA 10, HAZWOPER 30, 40, confined spaces. Let me see if I can get them all. Confined spaces, CPR, and there's one more, traffic safety. And again, we will be adding lead and asbestos mitigation certifications. Then we have our larger program, which is Richmond Works, which is for any student, anybody over the age of 18. And it's not specifically geared towards construction. The 2, Richmond Build and Youth Build, are specifically construction. Our Richmond Build program is geared towards anyone who's looking for a job or training. Doesn't have to be in construction. It can be in, I think our biggest ones right now are healthcare and truck driving. So everybody wants to get their Class A to become a truck driver. everyone is interested in healthcare. We have a relationship with Kaiser Training School, the school right down the street, to allow our students to go there. And we're able to pay for some of the classes depending on what it is, because we do have a limit of $5,000 per person. So a lot of times we are sending people to Kaiser for phlebotomy. And if you guys know, phlebotomy is a really short program. I think it's a couple of weeks, maybe 3, and you come out making $25 to $30 an hour starting. But again, don't be limited to those. I'm just telling you what people are coming to our office for. And then we have YouthWorks. So YouthWorks is for anybody between the ages of 16 and 24 who need some little bit of touching on work experience. So we have funding to place people in positions to help them gain the skills to become employment. We can also put them in training, but a lot of those funds are really to help you get that experience of your first job. So again, those are all of our programs. Richmond Build and Youth Build, they're on South 27th Street. Youth Works and Richmond Works are located at 330 25th Street. I brought some flyers. So the staff at Youth Build told me to tell everyone, if you know anyone who needs their high school diploma, who's interested in construction, school started Monday, but they take people ongoing. Richmond Build, that class starts on the 26th. They just started interviewing people for the cohort. We usually have a cohort between 20 and 25. So the next cohort will not come around again until January, because we don't do anything in November and December because it's the holidays. And a lot of times you lose people when you let them go for a long time for the holidays. So we start again in January. But I brought a lot of information about the programs.
We'll have Tamara put those here on the table for anyone who's interested. And I'm assuming they have information on how to get involved. They do have information on how to get involved.
I also brought our schedule of our calendar for the month of August. So all the activities that we're doing at Richmond Works for the month of August. So we have introduction to our programs, and they're in English and in Spanish. We have orientation, resume building, English and in Spanish, and job readiness, English and in Spanish. So if you know anyone who's interested, please send them our way. We are working with trying to do what I call place-based, which is bringing our services down into the community. So we're working on that now. Questions?
Got a question here. Sorry, I'm gonna bring the mic because we got a Zoom. We want everyone to hear.
I heard is there 2 programs that are from ages 16 to 24? The work experience. Oh, just one? Oh, okay. Is there a way I could get a flyer for it? Oh, sounds good. Thank you.
For people on Zoom, there's one program, and there's flyers on the front. Actually, there's so many programs. Any other questions while Tamara's here? 510-412-040. And 4 more numbers.
78014. Again, that information is there.
So we'll add those flyers to our meeting minutes then, so that way people who are interested later can review the meeting minutes for all of the different phone numbers, websites, schedules, etc. Tamara is always in the office and her door is always open. Sorry, this is for the people on Zoom, just so they know. You can find Tamara. She's around. Thank you very much. All right. So the next item we have is just a quick, and we already kind of did this, but we're just going to introduce Gabby. You want to say a few words for a moment for the people?
Hi, everybody. My name is Gabriela Zacharias. I'm currently with Rich City Rise and Richmond Rising. I'm really excited. I honestly just started like 2.5 weeks ago, but I've been doing a whole bunch of tabling with Mayeli and other people from TCC. And so I'm really excited to hopefully very, very soon, hopefully towards the end of the year, to recruit some youth onto our program to hopefully go into all these other amazing projects. And so I'm really excited to continue updating you guys on our program. Thank you.
Do we have any questions or comments for Gabby at this time? Well, the good news, there's lots of youth here, so we'll have someone to talk to. But oh yeah, Gabby's looking at all of you. Okay, so the next item, I'm actually going to skip an item and then, let's see. Come back to it perhaps. Hold on one moment. So we do have a draft of our annual summary to the Richmond City Council that we'd like to share with you. But hold on, because we may have to postpone this item to next month. So we're going to postpone this item to next month, but we will send out, so what we have every year, we're going to report both to the city council on the progress of the various projects and also to the state the state council that's funding us. Let's see, I might actually even be able to just pull up the draft presentation actually. So I didn't really prepare for this, so give me grace. But you will be so enthusiastic to see what we have for you. Please hold. All right. So I'm going to just kind of walk through the slides so we can kind of see. We did send this out to everyone on the committee by email, but we're going to review it here so that we can get comments from the public, comments from the members of the board. I'm going to share my screen again. Okay, can we see that? Okay, all right. So like I said, this is draft slides for our presentation to the City Council in September, the end of September. This is not going to be on the slides. This is just a quick cheat sheet for everyone to know where their slides are. As you can see, there's many slides. So I'm going to kind of go through this quickly so you get a sense of the flow. If you have like substantive comments, you can email us or put your edits in the document directly, but we just want to give you a sense of the layout. We'll be presenting it, but we'll encourage you all to attend. We'll talk about this again next meeting, but this is to give you a chance earlier on in development of the slides. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of go quick. You'll see we use the same template for all of our meetings, which is a great looking thing. So we're going to start with just a general overview. Everyone on the council has heard of our project, but they have a lot going on. So we We'll go over just kind of the general project, the application, why we chose the neighborhoods we did, et cetera. We're going to go over some highlights and accomplishments, like getting 4 community members on our committee, as an example. We're going to go over some of the learnings. We've had challenges at various times with various things. For example, invoicing requirements being probably the #1 on most people's minds, but even just kind of best practice for how to do outreach, et cetera. Then we will go over just kind of a general timeline for the various programs, and we have a blank here for any asks for the council. We're not going to ask them for any money, but we can ask them other things potentially, including just helping us get the word out for our projects. Of course, they're all community engagement experts, so we could use their help in various ways. So that'll kind of be something we talk about. Overview, I'm going to skip through these because this is going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Learnings. So it's going to kind of repeat here. You can see some people, like the Electric Bike Lending Library, deserve kudos for having done a lot of the drafting here. Forgive the formatting. We are just kind of getting words on the sheet, and then we will make it look good later. And no salt on people who didn't, of course, fill this out. The timeline is far away, but we're just really sharing the draft as we're making it here. You can see our lovely template that for slides that we made here. Sorry for the underwhelming presentation. This will be a long meeting for the city council because we got so much good stuff to tell them. VegRx, e-bike share. Okay, I'm gonna guess for entertainment purposes, the next one's CEP. And then look, got that one. The next one's gonna be ITP. No, I don't know what it is. It's okay. DAP, okay. The next one's gonna be WDEOP. And the next one's gonna be ITP. Ooh, and I think that's it, because I think the grantee was the first one. Okay, next. Just kidding. That will be it. So I wasn't sure. Sorry. We're all working on a lot of things here. And we have some time. So we just wanted to develop the draft and get it ready for review. So you all wouldn't be surprised. And so that when we email you for the 4th time, you'll add your bullet points. No salt on anyone. All love here. No, seriously though. So are there any comments or questions at this time about that? We just wanted to make sure we all got eyes on it and had a chance to talk about that. So a good thing to be done right now would be to remind you all when it's due. Unfortunately, I don't know when it's due because I'm not tracking this particular presentation at this particular time. If you could get it done by the end of the week, that would be crazy, but great. I'm sure you have another couple weeks. I would guess the answer is in your inboxes and in mine too. Apologies, I didn't know that. Oh, Mayeli might know. Okay, so I wasn't kidding, actually. The end of the week is the time. Fortunately, it won't be very hard, especially because you're all already almost done with your invoicing and reporting, where you will get really good bullets from what you've accomplished over the last year. So definitely one recommendation is look at the progress reports in case you forget what you've done. Another really great source is the slides for our these meetings where you all put in, some of the highlights of your months. So just recommendations, of course, you can add whatever you want. But we definitely want you to answer the questions. This is just as much as for us as it is for the city council. And we'll also be using that same information for the state. And anything we can teach the state about how to help us do our jobs better is useful for us and useful for other people doing work like us. So that's my pitch. So that's that item. I'm assuming there's no questions or comments, and I'll move to the next, which is, let me reshare my screen. I'm doing a lot of things. 1 sec, sorry. Okay, so the next item is we're going to just kind of, we want to just talk about the annual summary to the Richmond City Council. Oh, wait, sorry, is this? Sorry, please hold. Okay, well, the next item is reviewing the annual report to the Strategic Growth Council. But I don't have much more information on that. So, we will just follow up. I'm sure there's an email, at least one, in everyone's inboxes about this. But we want to put it here just to kind of remind everyone that these are things that are important to us and actually just make an easier format to ask questions or provide comments. We take both. So does anyone want to comment on the annual report while we have a moment here? Easier than following up in the inbox. Shane has a question.
I'm curious what the major difference is between the two reports, the one to the city council and the one to strategic growth.
That's a great question. I think the main difference in strategic council is easier. No, that's only kind of a joke. I can't remember off the top of my head, but the Strategic Growth Council is asking questions, is mostly questions like the learning processes that have happened. Mayeli's agreeing. Mayeli's done her homework, which is awesome. So I can't remember specifically what they are because Amanda, who you all know, who's working with PlaceWorks, and Rachel, who you all know, who's working with PlaceWorks, are taking the lead on both of these at this moment. So I don't have the perfect answer, but they are certainly similar. But from my memory, the annual report to the Strategic Growth Council was less like rigorous, I guess I would say, a little more general and broad. And it's definitely like to help them because they are issuing new rounds of funding. So to help them help other people better. So that's my understanding. Mayeli is agreeing. Okay, so there's a lot of feedback. There's no grades on this. It's just to help them, from what I understand. Okay, well, that is the last item on our list of items. We do keep a section here. Does anyone have any agenda items they want to add to the next meeting? We are taking anything from members of the public as well as committee members. Shane has one.
Maybe if possible to get a follow-up on that fourth applicant for the.
We will be following up with them. So I think what would be best is since we told them and everyone that we're reviewing every 2 months, is that we'll make sure that is it okay if we have that follow-up item for 2 months from now? But we'll be working, I'm looking at Stephanie, our amazing intern, who will be working to get back in touch with Alma to kind of check in. And, everyone is a human here, so we just want to check and hope that they're okay and that they know that, we are still waiting for them if they want to come to our October meeting. Any other requests for items for next meeting? Yep, one item from Tomasa.
Bueno, yo solo quiero hacer una recomendación. No sé si han pensado hacer un boletín en conjunto y poner la información básica de lo que están haciendo y mandarlo directamente a la casa de los 3 vecindarios, en inglés y en español.
So she just wanted to make a comment that we send a flyer to everyone in the project area with the different projects, which we think is a great idea. We have done that in April, but we are definitely interested and we're working together to do it again. We don't have a timeline, but probably by the end of the year. It's really expensive because there's like 20,000 people in the project area, 9,000 addresses times, $1 each or so. So it adds up, but we definitely want to do it. It's a great recommendation. We are currently working with, it happens to be Grid, but we will all be on the flyer. We'll reach out when we get a little farther into the process of actually finalizing the flyer. But in some ways, it'll be similar to what we sent out before, just giving an update on all the projects and what they are. And now we have a comment from the public, so we'll move the mic.
Is the flyer, is that the only targeted outreach that you guys are gonna be doing?
Well, I'll answer this question, but we can all answer too. So we go to as many community events as we can, as we're National Night Out. We go to the neighborhood councils for the 3 neighborhoods. We go to different community, whenever we know about a community event, we do the 5K. Some people did the 5K, some people, yeah, there's a lot of, we do Thrive Thursdays, which just ended. So there's a lot of different ways we try to do it. We'll definitely send that out as one way. But if you have recommendations on more ways, we definitely like those.
Well, I was thinking more of like, like maybe other than those events, just like doing like a community, like going to like the Santa Fe, just giving an event so that those immediate neighbors will know that this grant is for them and how long it's gonna be and how they can access it.
Thank you. Anyone want to respond? I think in general, we're super open to that. We try to pair with kind of existing things just because we know there'll be more people there and we can have like a band. I mean, last night there was a big band and there was a few hundred people and but we can definitely think about ways we can do just not Earth Day, just Richmond Rising outreach. Yeah.
Well, the reason I said that is some people can't attend those events for whatever reason. So, so if they can't attend, then they don't know. So if we could create something where the people that, for whatever reason, you might not have childcare or you're tired when you get off work or whatever, but just more targeted.
Thank you. Yes, I agree. Any other comments, etc.? Agenda requests, general announcements. A reminder that there are free squash at the front, a lot of them. So please take those on your way out. Please take whatever's left of the food on your way out. And thank you all so much for being here. The meeting's adjourned.